Oh. No, I'm not finna start rapping. You ain't got to worry about that. Niggas ain't rapping. A little bit of everything podcast. Luck is in the building. Welcome back, I guess. I guess we could say that it's been quite some time since I got on the mic, man. And said a few things. It was a lengthy, long, exhausting mentally. End of June, all of August. End of June, all of July. But we'll get to that in a second. What I would like to start with is, don't be like Gotti. We already here. Let's get it going, right? Let's not be like Irv. Man. Let's not be like Irv. Irv is we're about a week or so into his whole Ashanti rants continuously. They for those of you who don't know, they had a thing going on back when she was on Murder Inc. And basically she told him that she was done with him. You feel me? But that man was in love. She went on and messed with Nelly. And that story is pretty hilarious. How he said he found out. And for everybody who's saying he was a married man, according to him and his wife, they was estranged at that point. They weren't together. You feel me? So that's what they both said. It ain't just him. They weren't together. But so we was talking about this last night. We was playing dominoes, and I'm telling him because I'm like this really all spawned from her not wanting to get on that documentary he making. And I think he just went so far in his bag of feelings. And she hurt that man. She hurt that man. For you 20 years later to still be this aggravated about it like it just happened like 5 years ago. That's hurt. That's a level of pain that a lot of people don't want to experience in their lifetime. You know what I'm talking about? But hey, bruh is hurt. He's not keeping it player at all. You feel me? The key component, the main ingredient into keeping it player is how to control your feelings and your emotions. Like, that's the key thing. Sometimes it ain't gonna go your way. You feel me? You might have thought you had the bitch under your thumb and a nigga snatch her. You feel me? You might have thought the bitch would never leave you. You ain't never gonna go nowhere. Boom, she gone. You might have thought she was single. She got a dude. You was really feeling her. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you gotta keep it player at all times. This is part of the program. It can't be one way or the other. And you can't be a player and hate the players, as Mace once told us, and jealous guys. But it's not player at all. He's looking real. And this is my thing about Irv. Irv can get on this documentary. He can win on Drink Champs and all that shit. And he's a big part of a lot of people in the music industry have said that Irv was the person who saved Def Jam because they were on their way out of business. They wasn't really making nothing in the mid 90s. You feel me? And you feel me? He was a facilitator of the Jay-Z to Def Jam. He basically put his job on the line for DMX for them to get him. And then, Ja Rule was right after that. So and I think he had some hands in some things to do with Nas too. After Nas had already got on though. But he's a big factor in hip hop history. That alone is documentary worth. We ain't gotta go down the Ashanti pole. If Ashanti didn't wanna do the Murder Inc. thing, it is what it is. But bruh been in his feelings for a long time. And this was his opportunity to let it all hang. What they say, all publicity is good publicity. Even if it's bad, it's good publicity. Because you get your name talked about. You get the ring, and everybody want to see what's going on in the dock. Everybody want to watch Drink Champs because he on there doing the fool. He feels some type of way about her leaving, getting on when the feds hit him. And don't be Irv Gotti, all right? Let's not do that to ourselves. Because it's not a good look in the long run, man. It's really not. I don't even you don't want to do it. You don't want to be that guy. So at the end of June, the very end of June, my little cousin Earl had passed. And then 3 days later, 4 days later, I think it was 3 days later, yeah, 4 after midnight, my nigga D-Loe died, was taken from us. And the back-to-backs was crucial, big crucial part in everything, because, you know, grieving is something that I feel like a lot of us don't get an opportunity to. Because grieving isn't something that you could just, it happens if you lose somebody on the first and then you grieve for 2 weeks and then after the funeral you're okay. Like, grieving is a long process for a lot of people. You feel me? So sometimes you can lose somebody and still be grieving over them for a month or 2 or 3, and then boom, you lose somebody else, and now you got to go through that phase. So, you know, I feel like we don't really get a chance to grieve all the time. So 2 in a week was just a lot to process for me. You know what I'm saying? You know, D-Lo wasn't a best friend, but he was my cousin best friend. But D-Lo was my friend. Like, that was my dog. If I needed, he was dependable. If I needed him, he always come through for me. We chop it up, talk about real shit, laugh, joke, all that old good shit. But, you know, so I'll start with Earl. Earl was actually born with Down syndrome. And they already said it was a good chance he wasn't going to live past 5 and, you know, things of that nature. And Earl made it to, I believe, 31. So he lived, you feel me, 25, 26 years longer than he was supposed to. Beat them. Take that for data, because he beat them numbers. But when he was maybe 4 or 5, they got into this really bad train accident in Arkansas. My uncle lived in Arkansas. His wife at the time, and all five of his kids is down there. I think they was all down there. And they end up getting into a train accident. My uncle gets messed up real bad. Earl gets messed up real bad. My cousin Star gets messed up real bad. And my auntie is killed in a train accident. So, when my uncle's in the hospital down there, they get the kids back up here to my grandmother. And, you feel me? She basically taking care of him while my uncle is getting better. Then he comes back out here, and he's still not, you know, anywhere close to good. So my grandmother was really just holding it down, taking care of everybody. Earl was in a body cast for a while, and then he finally got up out of that. He was working. He wasn't really, he was working. He was walking. He wasn't really he wasn't talkative. You feel me? But he could still speak. He could still tell you what he wanted. Earl was a menace. The older he got. Good for slapping a girl on the ass or pushing somebody down my grandma's stairs, or, you know, damn, like, it's family, man. You know what I'm saying? Just, everybody loved Earl. If you ever met Earl, you love Earl. He loved his music. He loved music. Okay? and blocks. But music, for sure. You give him some, you cut the music on, he'll be out there partying with you all night. You give him an opportunity to. We love to dance, and he was bright. You feel me? He was warm. He was loving. You know what I'm saying? And it just sucks, after all. But he's been fighting his whole life. Like, literally, he's been fighting his whole life. You know what I'm saying? They counted him out from the beginning, and he made it. A good life, a lengthy life. You know what I'm saying? And over the last, once COVID had hit, because there was, after the whole thing, when my grandma's house and stuff got dissolved, he went to go live with my auntie. And once COVID had hit, you didn't really go see a lot of people a lot. You know what I mean? When it first hit and everybody was a little weary. I worked at a hospital, so I was kind of hit or miss on who I would see, go to people's houses. And so over the last 2 years, I hadn't seen them too much. Mostly pictures. I went over there, not this year, maybe the very end of last year. And, I was at my auntie's house chilling, and we was over there, chopping it up, and Earl was in there. But, that one, that was tough. That hit pretty hard. And then, you feel me? He died, and then for the next 2 days, I just stayed in the house. You feel me? Just took a couple days, tried to get my brain straight. You know what I mean? And so, boom, Friday I go outside. You feel me? And we go to the back. Everybody back there, we chilling, all the homies and shit. Low pull up, and I'm telling them niggas, because it's the last day of cha-cha-chas. Anybody ever been to the Bay, or if you're from the Bay, from the cities in particular, I done kicked the mic, goddamn. Cha-cha-chas, you go there, get the sangria, they got some good eats. Nice little music, is cool. It was a cool spot, it was around for a long time. So they was closing it down. So I tell niggas yeah, let's, you feel me, we might as well just go down there, we ain't finna do shit. We gonna sit in these back streets. And you feel me? We can come back to this. This ain't gonna be here. So boom, we all slide out. We go in, are having a good time, buying bottles and big sangria, and just a fun ass night. You feel me? And without too many particulars, after we leave, about 15 minutes later, he shot, and a couple hours later, he did. And it's surreal to me because he was somebody I could just always see. When I go to the city, I'm really going for, unless I got something to do, or I'm going to mom's house, or I'm going to the back streets to pull up on either Mel, my cousin, or D-Lo. That's it. Those are really my things. You feel me? I don't really just go to the city just to be in the city, just out there. Just fucking around. But so yeah, it's and him and Mel and Marv, that was the three musketeers. You feel me? It was them three. If it was somewhere to go, somebody said come through, somebody had a barbecue, baby shower, you feel me, for the most part, whatever, them three was coming together. So when you see just Mel and Marv now, even my cousin Randy be with them all. He was starting to be with them all when he got back out here. But even with him, it's just missing D-Lo. It's just obvious. You can't get around it. You know what I'm saying? It'll never be the same without Lo. We went bowling for his B-Day. And bowling was what we normally would do. I got hella pictures of us at bowling alleys. And Lo telling niggas he could, if he fully drunk when he arrived, he could bowl at 300. And the nigga was crazy. That shit. But we all went bowling. It was fun because why we went, for his B-Day. But it just wasn't the same without my dog there. And like I said earlier, man, he was a good dude. I'm gonna give you two stories of where just to kind of give you an emphasis of what I mean when I say he's a good dude. and I'm pretty sure when Mo jump on here, he'll reiterate this, but this is just a give you a prognosis of what I'm talking about. Not a prognosis, not a diagnosis. What am I? I'm no doctor. Anyway, so we in the point. We out there chilling. You feel me? It's 4:00 Friday. You feel me? Niggas didn't work or just got off work, so it's popping outside. For a majority of the day in the group chat, Mo was expressing his feelings about a certain amount of things. I won't go into detail about what those was. I'm pretty sure he will when he get on here, but a certain amount of things during the day. So when everybody got outside, he wasn't outside. But when I was outside, Loe pull up, and he pulled me to the side, and he like, is the nigga Mo all right? And I'm like, that I know of. I'm like, you talking about this shit in the group chat? He like, yeah. I'm like, it seemed like he was just venting. I ain't heard nothing different. Like he was, So Loe like, alright. So 15, 20 minutes pass, Loe dip off. He like, I'll be back. So about 9:00, 9:30, this nigga Mo called me. And we talking whatever. He like, yeah, this nigga D-Lo just left. And I'm like he drove all the way up there in rush hour traffic? He was like, yeah. He's like, he just drove up here to check on me. He was like, he just wanted to see and make sure I was good. I'm like, oh shit. Like that nigga. For those of you who don't know, from San Francisco to Mo House on a non-traffic night is about 50 minutes. So during rush hour traffic around 4:30, 5 o'clock, it could take you about 2 hours to get up there. You know what I'm talking about? And maybe an hour and a half if you're lucky enough to get in carpool, because it's wild leaving the city, and it's wild when you get to Emeryville, and then it's cool, and then there's some other when they get to Highway 4, and then there's some other once they get in the Vallejo, and then there's some other once you get in the Fairfield. And Pringle live deep in Fairfield, so it's a hype. You feel me? It's a hype. But Loe banged out there. You feel me? Then Loe got back to the point around 11:30. I'm like, nigga, you really drove out there, huh? He's like, yeah, bro, I had to check on that nigga, man. He was, you know what I'm saying? A dependable nigga, a good nigga, a solid dude. So one of my last D-Lo come through for you type stories. Cause like I said, I talk to D-Lo like once a week. You feel me? He jump in the group chat, be talking, or I could just see him whenever I wanted to. D-Lo was the king of calling you for absolutely nothing. And then 10 minutes into the phone conversation, ask you, why did you call him? Well, get off his phone. Like, the nigga was hilarious. But this other one, I went to Philly last year for the Niner game. And, after the game, this nigga calls me. Talking shit, because I'm not really a Niner fan. I'm a Packers fan, but I always root for the Niners no matter what. So I'll go to the game. Got invited to the game, actually. Went to the game, was out there. The night before I'm getting ready to come back, the nigga called me. We on the phone talking, and he like, when you coming back? I'm like, oh, I land tomorrow. It was sometime in the evening, like 8:39, something like that, or at night. And the nigga like, it's like, you got a ride? I'm like, no, I'm just gonna jump on in an Uber. Like, it's kind of late. Niggas ain't. I'm like, bruh, say less. I'll be there to pick you up. Boom, land, call him. This nigga pull up. Bounce out. Pop the trunk. Take my bags from me. Put them in the trunk. Boom. In the car is him, Mel, and Marv. I jump in the car. This nigga already got a bottle for me. Pop it open. Pour me a drink. Nigga, we slide back to the hood. We out there fucking around for a few hours after that. But, like, he used to do that for me all the time. When I went to Arizona, nigga came pick me up. Go to Vegas, go to Miami, nigga come pick. Like, he always Loe. And no, let me get you started. Let me get started on how many times this nigga then did big shit for me and Mel on our birthdays. Because me and Mel birthday is back to back. Big shit. You feel me? Just put a whole party together for us, and 21, like him and Shorty. You feel me? Like, just like real love, and his fiance, she had a big part in that too. But just real love, bro. That we always told each other how much we loved. Like, I love you, bro. Like, always. Because, you feel me? We from the point, nigga, we lost a lot of people growing up. So it got to a point in time where, you know, you got to let it be known, man, you love your loved ones. It ain't nothing wrong or weird about it. You feel me? Just let it be known. So it was always something that was talked about. You know what I'm saying? Always showed each other love. So, seeing that I went to back-to-back funerals, and it's my third funeral this year, somebody that's actually close. Rest in peace to Risa. You feel me? Who was like an auntie right across the street, watched us all grow up. So I lost one of my closest partners, and something like an auntie and a cousin, in a 4-month stretch. But at the funerals, you hear people say, or you hear the pastor say, or you hear people when they get up there and talk, say that the person who passed is at peace now, and they don't have to worry about they got to worry about all this other stuff we got to worry about. And that's true. You don't have to worry about none of this other stuff we got going on, right? But here's my question for that statement. If you get your life taken from you, like, what's peaceful about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you like, that's... It ain't much peace for us that they got taken from us. Now, that line maybe kind of is more fitting maybe for, like, sick people or people who are much older and been around for a long time and, you know, kind of die of natural causes. But, bruh, like, we got our nigga took from us. Like, there was nothing peaceful about that. You feel me? You don't know what nobody thinking before the lights go out, but, like, it's probably fear. Like, you're not at peace. Am I wrong for this? I might be wrong for thinking this, but it's just how I was thinking every time I hear it. I'm just like they may be at peace once they're gone, but, like, the way sometimes shit be happening to people, it don't seem too goddamn peaceful. But in any event, once you are passed on, you ain't got to deal with a lot of this. All of the stuff that we still got to deal with. And I'm pretty sure, and this is something else nobody really probably be thinking about, but you don't want your people to suffer when you gone, like, be hurt and, you know, discombobulated for weeks and months and can't really get their life back on track after. Because Loe hurt a lot of people when he left. A lot of people. It's a lot of people who had a lot of relationships or different relationships with bruh. And I actually get a kick out of hearing people's stories because it's just how it's him. Like, it's what he does. You feel me? Like, they just sound right, but the he's at peace part I get once you're gone, but the leading up, like, that's nothing peaceful about that. Like, what if you wasn't ready to go? What if you had kids you wanted to see grow? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you can. Are you really at peace with not being able to be here to see that? Just my thoughts. You feel me? Don't pay me no mind. I'm sober. Not for long, though. But, and the last thing about this whole funeral and Loe and Earl, they both had open caskets. And I didn't really do the open casket thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to remember people how they are when they left. And I'm not saying I've never done it. And I'm not saying since I decided I wasn't going to do it that I ain't did it again and went back to not doing it. But, because I have. But, I just don't want to see them like that. Like, I want to see them how I remember them. Alive and well and moving and talking or messing with you or showing you love. You know what I mean? Like, that's just me. Some people, you know, that's they closure right there. They gotta see him one last time. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't knock nobody who do that. That's what you want to do that shit. Whatever helps you get wherever you're trying to get to be normal again or be able to just live with what's going on. Do that. But yeah, man, it was a tough stretch of time, man. It almost felt like it was never going to end. But once we celebrated his birthday, then it was I started feeling a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to finally being able to just kind of get a little bit of closure. Not over it, and because you still think about the nigga. I still got pictures I see that pop up and all that. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, rest in peace to my guy. Rest in peace to my cousin, man. I'm gonna miss him. So my last joint before I get up out of here, because I already said don't be like Irv, and let's not be like Kevin Durant neither, who was in a good situation and then decided he didn't want to be in that good situation no more. He wanted to create his own situation, and injuries stopped him from maybe this being a different conversation 2 years ago. And just this past season, was happened to be playing with a clown that probably cost him a lot more than he thought he would. And now he wants out and wants coaches fired, coaches that he signed on for, and GM's up out of here, and he looking like a whole hoe right now. Like, let's keep it a bird when it's the bird to be kept. This is what he looking like right now, a hoe. Like a sniveling brat who, first of all, this is what I think he wanted to do after winning in Golden State. I think he felt like it would never be his team, blase, so he wanted to build his own situation where he controls who comes in and out and the coaching, and kind of like what Bron does or has done in LeBron's career. Bron has, for the most part, been in control of almost everything that surrounds his the basketball team that he's on. Even he may not pull the trigger, but his say-so is very important, if not the most important. And I think that's what Durant wanted to do, and then he did that. He got there. Kyrie went there, and then they gave away the house for Harden, which was a bad thing to do because you got the team. But you think we got 3 superstars, so we should be good. And then the whole vaccine thing and Kyrie not getting it and can't play for most of the season. And the few games he was playing when KD was out there wasn't winning, and Harden got on him. And it's been a shit show in Brooklyn. Let's just call it what it is. And nigga, he the reason why it's like that. This is everything they put in motion for him. And I don't know how it's going to end, because Brooklyn just extended him for $200 million. And all right, you want him. I think he's the best player in the league, but he's without question the top 3. And so they're going to want a lot for him. King's ransom. You feel me? We going to want 3, 4, 5 picks, 2, 3 players. Like, we want it all for him. You want him that bad, you gonna have to give up something for him. We gonna demoralize or gut wherever he getting ready to go. He ain't gonna have much to work with when he get there. That's basically what it's looking like right now. And I don't know how it's gonna be solved, because he want coaches and GMs fired, but at the same time, a trade for you is going to take a lot. So you're going to take a lot from whatever team you go to. You might not be satisfied with them. Like, it ain't no telling. And then what if the owner just be on some jackass shit and just be like, all right, well, you don't play then. Don't get paid. All right. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Or you don't want to play here? All right. Sit on the bench every game. But you say you a hooper. You just want to hoop. So it's a lot of contradictions and headbutting and nonsense. And I don't know, man. I don't know how it's going to end up. But it's interesting. But don't be like KD. Don't Don't make the bed and then refuse to lay in it. You feel me? You only got this way because this is what you said you wanted. And now you like, I don't know if I want it. All right, man. Funny. But yeah, don't be like Irv. Don't be like KD. So, but yeah, feel good to be back, man. I told myself once I was able to express myself freely without getting emotional about the things that have transpired over the last 40 some odd days, then I would do it. So I've done it and it felt good. I'm glad I got to do it. So until we meet again, a little bit of everything podcast. I'll holler at you on the flip side. Peace.